Boy everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, I'll be giving you my performance review of the Jordan 38. So let's go. Guys, so this has been a very nice sneaker that came out of the Jordan brand, because on the Jordan 37, if you watch my video about that, I said it was good, but it didn't fit my style because it was a little bit clunky for me at the heel, but that shoe was extra bouncy. But I think Jordan brand listened to us, and I know a lot of consumers have mentioned that the 37 was good, but it kinda needs a little bit more improvement on the 37s. And they sure did listen on the Jordan 38, and I enjoyed playing with the 38s, and let me tell you why. First, let's talk about the upper of the 38, which I think is a huge improvement from the 37. If you watch on the 37, it needed a little bit more break-in time in terms of the material, the cushion, the traction, but what they really did on the 38 was really give us like instant performance. You don't need any break-in time on the 38s, and especially around the toe area, which they have this very nice leather. It's ultra soft here on the toe, and of course the lino weave. I don't know if they're still calling this the lino weave, but the weave here on the panels are still very strong and very well ventilated. You can see my fingers, you can see it poking through the material, and when you're stretching the materials out, it doesn't stretch too much. Plus they added some reinforced like a neoprene material on the side to give extra plushness, so it doesn't feel like you're just touching the weave on your lateral and medial side of the sneaker. And they felt really good when you're doing lateral cuts. They felt really good, and especially because the leather kind of holds up the entire thing, and it runs till the side panels of the lace loop, so it kind of holds the upper really tightly to avoid that upper to overstretch when you're moving laterally. Plus, of course, this stability plate also does the job on holding your foot when you're going side to side movements. And I think this is an improvement from the 37s. It kind of reminded me on the 35s and the 34s, which I really like playing with a lot, because on the 36, the lino weave was I think the thinnest of all, and sometimes if you're not too used to it, you'll get the feeling that you're not too secured on the upper. But with the 38s, I think it's a nice balance of a good old material, which is leather, plus the lino weave, and around the ankle collar. So this is the regular cut, the high cut version of the 38s. I believe they'll be coming out on the lows, because they usually do that, highs and the lows. And this one has a very nice, like a pattern stitch to it. Very classy, and even on the middle side, you can see it here. So it really adds like a more premium touch to the 38s, and not just a more futuristic style to the sneaker. And this is very well padded on both sides, so it's very comfortable on your ankle and even on your Achilles. And on the heel too, very nice padding here. And the lockdown of the 38s is really good. Just get, of course, the correct size. So for me, I'm a regular footer. I went true to size, and it fits me very well. There's no heel slippage on the 38s. And as for the tongue, it's very well padded. It's like a heat welded foam, so they made the foam really thin around here, and there's some holes here for ventilation. It's a very comfortable tongue. It kind of gives that premium feel to the 38s. It's not just your ordinary foam padded tongue. This one has a little bit more design to it. Plus at the back of the tongue, you can see this design, and I'm not too sure if it's the accurate description of this design they put in, because it's kind of giving like a homage to Jordan's tongue out, like that. every time he dunks or for a layup. So that's why they added this red part here. I'm not too sure if that's too accurate. And this colorway also has this championship ring here from the 1993 of one of, I think the third championship of MJ. So the overall feel of the tongue, it's very comfortable around the tongue. Even if you really tighten the laces and really pull it, there's no discomfort around the ankle part of your foot. So overall impression on the upper is very comfortable right out of the box. No break-in time needed, which I really like on a sneaker. And as for the insole, it comes with like a foam insole. It's not like the insole that you can find in the KDs, in the Kobe 6, because this is actually a full-on Zoom Strobel. And let me take this out, and it has a nice design at the back of the insole. So this is the insole that came with it. It's not the more styrofoamy type that you usually have on a full-length Zoom Strobel setup. This one is a little bit more plush, which I think is also an improvement from the styrofoam feel of the insole that they often use. And this one feels a lot softer on your foot. The step-in comfort for this insole is really good. And as you can see, there's a carved here for the Zoom Strobel. This is the carve. So this, thank God, they still retain the full-length Zoom Strobel, and right from the jump, feels amazing. Like a Zoom Strobel is, it's one of the best cushion setup that Nike ever invented recently. Instead of just giving a zoom, the Strobel really gives that bounciness, responsiveness feel right below your foot, and the comfort, impact protection, especially in the heel too. Given that the setup is actually quite surprising, it's not too high off the ground. You're kind of nicely, so your foot is seated very near the court, but the sensation is it's still bouncy, and the impact protection is awesome. Also, of course, on the heel, comparing it with the 37, huge departure from the 37, huge improvement, which I really like. Plus, the carrying foam that they use here is similar to the Luka 2s if you have played with them. This black part is very soft, this EVA foam. I think this is just EVA. It's very plush, so it gives a little bit more room for the zoom to compress and gives you a little bit more impact protection. Plus, of course, the Formula 23, which finally they unlocked the Formula 23 here, and it really gives a very nice bounce and plush right below your foot too. So the combination of full-length Zoom Strobel plus this EVA, which is plush, plus a very nice plush Formula 23, excellent combination in terms of cushioning for a low to the ground feel. It's not the lowest to the ground, but still it feels very responsive. So a lot will like this kind of setup because the cushion isn't sacrificed, but still the responsiveness is still there. Another main highlight of the 38s is the stability plate that they put. I think this is shaped like an X, so it kind of crawls up here in the forefoot on both sides. Also on the medial and lateral part, it goes up here, and it really reminded me on the Luka ones. This is one of the things that I really liked about the Luka ones is their lateral support that they put it in the Luka ones. Plus, it gives a very nice spring back when you're doing a step back on the Luka ones. You can really feel your foot kind of going back and giving you a better balance on your step when you're doing a step back. And it felt the same here on the 38s, which thank God they put it here on the 38s. And there's a nice spring back and stability to the sneaker that it also gives. Plus, of course, that step back move, if you have that in your bag when you do a step back, this plate catches your foot and it kind of helps you in balancing your foot for if you're going for a shot after that step back, or if you're going back and do a forward movement, this stability plate really helps out, especially if you always do those types of moves. Now let's talk about the traction of the 38. It has a zigzag herringbone pattern style to it, and the rubber compound is very pliable, which on an indoor court is very good because it kind of sticks a little bit better on the floor if it's pliable rubber and the grooves are deep. But I would recommend this outdoors because the rubber is kind of pliable, so it kind of moves, and especially for the price point of the 38s, I wouldn't, if you have that extra money, you can go ahead and play with this outdoors. But if you want the life of the traction to last longer, I wouldn't recommend this to be hooped outdoors. But indoor wise, very good traction indoors. And a little thing that my friend mentioned to me that I wish that Jordan Brand also did was maybe raise the traction up in the medial side, so that when you're doing some steps, because my friend was a really shifty player, so I think he kind of slipped here on the medial part and went through this plastic piece, the stability plate, and he kind of slid. So that's one thing to consider if you're a very shifty guard. Maybe this traction isn't for you because you would lean more to those sneakers that has extra traction on the medial part of the forefoot of the sneaker. But if you're someone like me who's not that shifty anymore, and I always go for a jump shot or just a step back, and I don't bend my foot really sideways like this, I'm okay with the 38s. And the lateral outrigger of the 38s is also very nice, so it gives a very nice stability on the forefoot. It's flat on the forefoot, but it has a very nice curve on the heel and on the tip of the forefoot too. But the base is relatively flat here, so if you want to get your balance quickly, this is a very nice sneaker to have. So like I've said, this is a pretty expensive sneaker. This is around, I think, $200 or 10,800 pesos or 10,900 pesos here in the Philippines. So pretty expensive sneaker, and I wish that Jordan Brand took a bit more effort in the design of the box. I know that this sneaker is gearing towards a recyclable, 20% recyclable material on the sneaker and on the box, but they could have changed it up a bit because all the previous Jordan signature sneaker line boxes have very nice box. Maybe they put the shape into something like that, but I know it's the eco-friendly direction. So here, made out of 20% recycled material, which I applaud Jordan Brand too. So it didn't come with oh, it comes with, I forgot, it came with this and a tissue, because on my other recycle, like the Cosmic Unity, it just came with the box, this black box, really plain box. So, but if you're paying for a premium of 10,900, I would demand a little bit more creativity on the box. So as for the weight of the Jordan 38, a lot of people have been asking me if it's heavy. So for a US 11, my size, for a high cut sneaker, it's 430 grams. So that's a pretty light sneaker for a high cut sneaker and in my size. So that's it on my performance review of the Jordan 38s. Let me know what you think about the sneaker. For me, my overall review for this impression is I really like the design. I really like the out of the box, ready to perform feel of the 38s compared to the 37, which you needed to break it in. And of course, the huge improvement on the impact protection on the 38s is a plus on the 38s. So sound off below in the comment section. This has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by the channel. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.